Hello ladies and gentlemen, Tevaron here, and welcome back to some more Magic the Gathering Arena gameplay. Today we're going to be running some dinos. I have a slightly upgraded dino deck using cards that I have earned and opened from packs. Let's take a look at the original list. This is the original dino list. The changes I have made is I'm going to go through the cuts here and then we'll show the upgraded deck. We have cut a Ryle. We have also cut the Frilled Death Spitter, cut Shake the Foundations, cut both of the Needletooth Raptors, and cut Verdant Sun's Avatar. What have we added in their place? Well, I have added in Merfolk Branchwalker. It's not a dinosaur, but it is very good. Can help you draw extra lands, get them off the top of your deck. Also, if there is something on top of your deck you don't want, you can just mill it, in which case it gets a +1 counter. It gets the counter whether you mill it or not. So potentially a 2-mana 3/2. Also added Captain Lannery Storm, as we are trying to get to 6 and 7 mana with this deck. Her ramp via treasures is very relevant. Also, the fact that she can output a ton of damage if need be by sacking those treasures is awesome. We've added Aronis the Indomitable, again not a dinosaur but very good in the dinosaur deck. A 3-cost 5/5 with Death Touch and Indestructible. Aronis can't attack or block unless you control another creature with power 4 or greater, which is pretty easy to do in the dinosaur deck. And for a green and 2, another target creature gets +2/+0 and gains trample until the end of turn, so that even if you don't have another creature that's big enough to turn Aronis' attack and block on, he can turn it on himself. We have added a Grazing Whiptail for a little bit more beef in the mid-rangey area. Also, the reach so that it can block flyers is extremely relevant so that you just don't get pounded to death in the air. We've added a second Samet, Voice of Dissent, because she is ridiculously powerful. 5-cost 3/4 with Flash, Double Strike, Vigilance, Haste, and other creatures you control have haste. We can pay a white and tap it to untap another target creature, which we can actually occasionally do in this deck, as we have Drover of the Mighty and Channeler Initiate, which can produce white mana if need be. And we have also added a 26th land in the form of Evolving Wilds. If you're wondering why we're playing 26 land, again, we're trying to get to 6 and 7 mana drops. Also, there is a reason due to the algorithm that's in Magic Arena. I'm not going to go into it here, but there is a reason to play specific numbers of lands in your deck. There is a video that I made informing you about that. It goes kind of deeper into the reason. If you'd like to watch that, there'll be a link in the description, but suffice it to say that 26 lands is going to make it more likely that we can get to our 6 and 7 mana so that we can play our big impactful spells. But other than that, it's pretty much the basic starter deck. We're just going to jump in and see if we can win a few games. Alright, I think this hand is fine. We'll keep it. Would have liked it to be just slightly more aggressive. We're going to lead off with the tapped land. If everything goes well, we can play and swing with Grazing Whiptail on turn 3. Charging Monstrosaur is nice as well. Let's put out the Huntmaster. Reduce the cost of our dinosaurs. Tap it to give them haste. Looks like we're up against blue-black. Huntmaster's dying. Well, that's probably very smart of the opponent to do. I think we're going to commune instead of playing Aronis, as we're not guaranteed to draw a 4th land next turn. Alright. Yeah, I think we want to make sure we hit our 4th land drop, so we'll take that mountain. Play this one and pass back. Alrighty, Evolving Wilds. I think that we are going to want to play out our Grazing Whiptail at this point. We could have also just played Evolving Wilds, cracked it, and played Ronus, which might have been better. Then we could have definitely played Monstrosaur next turn, but Ronus would have got Essence Scattered, so either way. Alrighty. Well, I think that we are going to try to go for Ronus this time. We could Monstrosaur, but I'm wanting to try to set up to play Italy next turn. Primal Storm. Alright, another Essence Scatter, sure. So let's do this. We're going to go ahead and crack it, just to make sure we don't miss the opportunity on the opponent's turn. Grab a Forest. And we're going to say end turn. Alright, Samet. So yeah, I think we're definitely going to try to resolve Italy. Hopefully we get to attack with it. When it attacks, we exile the top card of each player's library, and then we can cast any number of those non-land cards exiled without paying their mana cost. Opponent drawing some cards with hieroglyphic illuminations there. Alright, bouncing our Italy. Well, it didn't kill it, but it did tempo us there. At this point, I think we're going to go with Samet. Need to try to start dealing some damage to the opponent. And maybe she was the correct play last turn, as if she stayed in play, she would have given Italy haste. Also, may have been able to deal 6 damage. Supreme Will? Okay, yeah, we can't pay that. We do have a second Samet, though, so we will try to go for that. Just trying to whittle through our opponent's answers here, so that we can start killing them. They're doing a pretty good job of answering everything we play one-to-one. Alright, looking for an answer apparently. Didn't get there. Let's attack. Double strike you for 6. Hopefully Italy doesn't get countered either, and Samet sticks around. We can deal a ton of damage next turn. Well, Samet's dying. Bye-bye, Chupacabra. Or bye-bye, Samet. Thanks to Chupacabra, rather. Alright, so I think we're going to go with Italy. And we're not going to Savage Stomp. We'll just pass. Opponent does have more cards in hand than us. Alright, let's see what they think of Monstrosaur. Alright, now we're going to Savage Stomp. Or attempt to, anyway. Alrighty. And all attack. Yeah, we'll cast both of those. Thank you very much. Glyph Keeper on our side seems real good. Unfortunately, if it dies, it goes in the opponent's graveyard, but we're not going to get to that point. So awesome. Let's see, get some rewards here. 200 gold. Driven. Ooh, a rare. Until end of turn, creatures you control gain trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Ooh, that's interesting. Is this an Aftermath card? Ooh. Ah, there we go. Yeah, it is. And the Aftermath side is Despair for a black and a colorless. Until end of turn, creatures you control gain Menace, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card. That's very interesting. Cool. Not super familiar with that card. Okay, Thunderherd Migration is awesome. The fact that we don't have a mountain is greatly mitigated by that. I mean, we're a little bit late, but I think it's fine. Let's go ahead and keep this. We'll try to ramp into some action here. Ooh, Lannery Storm. Okay, then. So, when we reveal a dinosaur, Thunder Herd Migration is rampant growth, and we have many dinosaurs to reveal. Oop, red-white aggro, okay? So, whenever this attacks, other attacking creatures get +1/+0 until end of turn. Let's go with a forest. We're going to Thunder Herd Migration, and we're going to reveal Thrashing Brontodon. I guess we have to tap these ourselves. We definitely want a mountain. And we're going to take 3 here. Hopefully we can establish a board presence kind of quickly. Well, Menace on that guy is a little awkward. So we'll be taking 6 next turn. There's not a lot that we can do about that except maybe play Brontodon and try to block. Opponent could have removal. Against a deck that's not quite as fast as this, I think I'd play Lannery Storm and attack with her, just to ramp. But for now, I think we just want to try and block, or at least hold this Crop Captain at bay. Let's go ahead and sack this. We'll grab another mountain. Ooh, come back. There we go. Opponent could easily have removal for this. Sky Marcher. They don't have the City's Blessing yet, so... Alright, so we succeeded in holding the Crop Captain at bay, which is exactly what we wanted to do. Now, I think we're going to go Monstrosaur. And still hold back with Thrashing Brontodon and just start swinging with our 5/5. Okay. Argument could have been made also for Raging Regisaur, as if it survived, it could start picking off these X1s when it attacked. Like to be as mana efficient as possible most of the time, though. Sure, you're going to cast 2 spells? Alright. So we're going to be taking 9, unfortunately. I mean, it's good for us that they use 2 spells to get rid of that, but otherwise, not great. So, I think we do need to try to block here. Burning Sun's Avatar helps a lot. So let's play that. And we're going to kill the Menace creature. Deal 3 to our opponent's face. If they have some way to remove this and we swing with this, we're dead. So we're just going to pass the turn. Hazoret is a big problem. Now they can just sit back and sling cards from their hand at us. Luckily, she's not to the point that she can block yet. Let's see. We've got 7 lands, so we can Regisaur plus Ronus, which I think is probably our best move. And I think we're going to attack with both of these. Alright. Got a chump block out of them, which is good. Let's tap ourselves just to make sure that the game doesn't mess us up. Colorless, please. And then we'll Ronus. Ronus is able to block thanks to our multiple creatures with power 4 or greater. And we got there. Awesome. Looked very touch and go for a moment. Let's see. Ooh, a mythic. 7 mana, target player draws 7 cards. Not a great mythic by any means, but it's still a mythic, so happy to have it. Yeah, this hand's fine. Again, Thunder Herd Migration, awesome. Lets us ramp pretty hard. Ooh, looks like we're up against a mirror match. Hopefully they have not used a bunch of their wild cards to craft rares and mythics and such, because I have not yet used any of mine. I'm trying to save up for specific decks. Unfortunately, it's been stated that there is going to be at least one more progression wipe before the game full releases, so not really in any hurry to use everything, as it's just going to be reset at some point. Alright, a Huntmaster. Well, not really much we can do about that, so we're going to go ahead and play Thunderherd Migration. We'll reveal a dinosaur, and since we're going to be playing the Raptors first, we'll reveal that, just to give as little information as possible. And I guess we want a second forest, as we already have 2 red. Hopefully we're not getting smacked in the face for a ton of damage this turn. We know they have a forest in hand, revealed from Commune. Thrash of Raptors. Okay, well at least it's not big, so they don't have a second dinosaur to pump it up, but it does get to swing at us. Alright, so this is going to be a fairly decent turn for us. The only question is, do we want to kill Thrash of Raptors or Huntmaster? I mean, they could potentially play a land in Monstrosaur next turn. Oh, no. Game's about to tap very badly for us. We definitely need to leave a green up. I think we're going to kill the Huntmaster. Then, even if they play a Monstrosaur, we're happy to trade with this if they swing with it and just ramp again. That and that. And if they don't have another land or any more dinosaurs, then we're super happy we do that. We do need a third red, because we have Burning Sun's Avatar in hand. Would be awesome if we could top deck another land that comes into play untapped next turn, then we could Avatar, kill the Thrash or something else if they present us with a better target and do 3 to their face. Alright, Raptors, sure. Got a Savage Stomp of your own. So you'll kill here, we'll get a land. This will hit us for 6. But this is going to allow us to play Avatar next turn. Yes, we do. Grab a forest. Going to 11, so we're behind damage-wise, but I think we're very possibly ahead as far as quality of cards in our hand. So Avatar cannot hit this, but we can kill the Raptors. That will give them a land, which may help them out, but getting something off the board seems good to me. If they don't have another dinosaur, this is going to be small enough to eat it with the Avatar. Otherwise, we'll just trade, because I don't think we can afford to take 6 again at this point. Next turn, we're probably going to Swordtooth plus Commune. Well, start off with the Commune. We could hit something that we'd rather play. Alright, so nothing from them. Ooh, Ronus, though. Let's start with a Commune. Well, no dinos, so I guess we're taking a forest. That puts us to 7, so that if we... Never mind. Opponents had enough. I was going to say that puts us to 7, so that if we draw our big 7 drop, the spine back, we'd have enough to play it out. Raider's Wake. 3 and a black. Whenever an opponent discards a card, that player loses 2 life. Raid. At the beginning of your end step, if you attacked with a creature this turn, target opponent discards a card. Kind of a an interesting take on an old card called Megrim. But let's jump back in. Well, unfortunately this time we did not get a migration, but we do have a mana dork, so I guess we'll keep this. As you can see, drawing 3 to 4 lands in your opening hand with 26 mana in your deck is super consistent in this, in the best of 1 mode, which is basically the reason why we went with 26 land. Normally, if you're below 26 land, like 22 to 25, the game prioritizes 3 land hands, then 2 land hands, then 4 land hands, whereas if you go up to the 26 land, it goes 3, 4, 2. So your first highest priority 2 hands are 3 and 4 instead of 3 and 2. Yep, we'll lead off with a forest. But again, I go into that in much more detail in that other video I was mentioning. Well, I think we're going to go with Channeler Initiate. I think it's better to get a creature on the board, even though we drew the Thunderherd Migration. So now we have to decide if we're going to Mouth or Thunderherd Migration this turn. And I think we want to... see, 3, 4. We could cast Burning Sun's Avatar next turn if we Migration. So let's do that. We'll tap you for green, get you a little bit bigger. I'm going to pay 1, just not let you know about the dinosaur we have in hand. We're not going to be able to play anything else this turn anyway. We'll grab a forest. We are against blue-white, which I'm pretty sure is a controlling deck in the starters. Which at this point, I assume that a lot of players have made at least minor changes to their decks with the cards that they've earned. Let's try to resolve Burning Sun's Avatar. Could get countered. Nope. Well... oh, do we have to? Oh, up to. Yeah. Yeah, submit. Yeah, don't want to kill our Channeler Initiate. Thank you very much, game. I think that's the first time I've cast the Avatar on here without an opponent creature target. Ooh, Branch Walker. Okay, so we have enough to cast both of these without using that, so let's go to combat. They don't have a second white, so we don't have to worry about Settle the Wreckage. Sweet. That's a lot of damage. Let's go with Branch Walker first. Get our Explorer. Great, drew an extra land. We'll play that out. We'll go ahead and cast, or try to cast Mouth. Sweet, we can play the Aftermath Feed next turn, potentially draw a couple of cards. Actually, we can use this for mana, making us a third 3/3 and draw 3 cards. That is if this doesn't get countered and nothing dies. Okay, now they have a second Plains, so Settle the Wreckage is a concern. Alright, so I think we're going to do this. We'll go with green here. Cast this. If they counter it, that's great. We can just swing out with the rest of our creatures. They didn't. Okay. Let's go to combat. I think we're going to swing with just lethal Avatar plus Hippo. No need to get a third creature settled if they have that in hand. Which this is bad for us if they have a spot removal spell, but... oh, nope, they are cycling. Maybe they're dead. And they are. Sweet. Looks like we're maybe going to rank up. Awesome. What's our reward? 50 and... ooh, another mythic. Locust God. Well, it's no Scarab God, that's for sure, but still okay. 6 mana for a 4/4. Flying. Whenever you draw a card, create a 1/1 blue and red insect creature token with flying and haste. For 2, a blue and red, draw a card, then discard a card. When the Locust God dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. Sweet. Glad the game is now giving me some mythic rewards. Alright. Sadly, we don't have a dinosaur. We could draw one. I think this hand is worth keeping, so we'll keep it. Your mulligans are less good than your opening hands on the best of one, simply because it doesn't apply the algorithm. You don't get 2 hands drawn like you do on your first hand. Alright. Opponent leads off with an island. We drew a dino, which is awesome. We'll go with Timber Gorge. So next turn we can Thunder Herd Migration, revealing the raptor, and ramp ourselves. Seems pretty good. Alright, cycling Hieroglyphic Illuminations. Alright, so blue-black. Good to know. Let's do this. Hopefully they don't have a censor or a negate. We'll try to ramp. We'll reveal a dinosaur. Yep, only have one. Guess we'll get a mountain. If we don't draw something better to cast next turn, we'll Evolving Wilds plus Ronus. Or perhaps Mouth for the 3/3, as it's going to be difficult for us to play a 4/4 the turn after with Ronus. Opponent appears to either be away from their computer or taking a very long time to make a decision. Alright, well, there's some activity. Good deal. Alright, so I do think we're going to go with Mouth. Let's start off with a commune, though. Burning Sun's Avatar. Both of these are really good. And we definitely are going to have the land to play either one. I think Atali is better against a more controlling deck than the Avatar is, so we'll take that. Then we will go with Forest and attempt to cast Mouth. Also has the added benefit that it's a sorcery and not a creature spell, so Essence Scatter can't hit it. They could have removal, though. Alright, sure. Reaver Ambush, that's fine. Alright, opponent has not yet hit a second blue source, which may be really good for us. That is exactly what I wanted to draw, an untapped, so that next turn for sure we can play Atali. Let's go... yeah, I guess we'll go for Ronus. Hopefully they don't have an Essence Scatter. Supreme will. We'll do the same thing. I think we'll go for Evolving Wilds just to marginally thin our deck out. We'll go ahead and get a Forest. Alright, still no second blue, so we don't have to be worrying about cancel and other double blue counter spells. They could still have negates, Supreme Wills as we saw right there, Essence Scatters. Bone Picker. Alrighty. Well, we're going to be able to resolve our big legendary dino. Hopefully they don't have a kill spell for it. Very well just could get this Vraska's Contempted at this point. Hope that's not the case. Getting a swing in and casting spells for free feels real good. Let's play that. And go to combat. Don't know what that oops was about. Maybe they meant to cast something and didn't. If they had instant speed removal, they needed to kill this before we got to attack. Yeah, we'll cast that. Guess we'll take a Sellback since it's flash and can potentially get bigger. Go to blockers. Sure. Yeah, it is Death Touch. That's okay, though. I think we'll go with Branch Walker. Leave that on top, please. And then we're just going to end the turn here. Sellback has flash, so we can cast it on their end step, which if they have a counter spell, yeah, that's fine. I mean, not fine, but nothing I can do about it. That way, if they want to spend mana to counter it, then they won't have as much mana available on our turn. Definitely want to go to end step. Yeah, flash this guy in, or try to. Sweet. Let's try to resolve Monstrosaur also. Swinging for 9. Resolving 9 even. Yeah, we'll play out our Raptor Hatchling. Still got feed available to us. They have not yet achieved the city's blessing, so they can't use Arch of Erazka to draw any cards. Yep, Champion of Wits. They get to draw 2, then discard 2. They have now hit a second blue, but they had to use one of them to cast the champion. Not really played with the blue-black starter at all yet, so I'm not completely familiar with what's in it. Alright, killing our Monstrosaur. Alright, Forest, not the best thing there. Let's attack. Doing that before we feed, because if they decide to trade with Raptor Hatchling, then we'll have a second 3-power creature out. If they decide to block Sellback, it'll get bigger. They're also only one land off of being able to eternalize Champion of Wits, so they may be incentivized to put it in the graveyard. Alright, no blocks. Alright, I guess we're feeding to draw 1 card then. And it is a land, unfortunately. Liliana, okay. So are we bringing back...
hire servants when you can raise the dead. Oh, look what I found.
That is an interesting sound effect there. Yeah, I didn't know if they were going to make a zombie or bring back the Death Touch Bone Picker. So, they can double block and trade with Sellback. A zombie can also just eat our Raptor Hatchling. We may be having this game slip away from us at this point. We are kind of flooding out a little bit, which is a risk you play, or a risk you take rather, with playing more lands, but I would always much rather be able to cast my spells on curve and risk a little bit of flood than to be mana screwed. Always feels really bad when you don't actually get to play Magic. Well, now they have the City's Blessing, so they can start arching and drawing cards, which is a bad position for us to be in. Yeah, getting their Chupacabra back, so bye-bye to Sellback. And I'm pretty sure that they've established control at this point, just sort of stabilized. Liliana will kind of do that. Wish you could see the full art somehow by clicking instead of just down here. Alright, ranging Raptors. I mean, that's definitely our best move. Not that it's a great one. Kinda surprised they haven't swung with Champion of Wits. Seems to me like it would be beneficial for them to get that into their graveyard so that they can eternalize it, as they definitely have the mana out to do that. Also, opponent playing exceptionally slowly over the course of this game. Feels like they may be distracted and doing other things and coming back to the computer. Oh, are we going to get a triple timeout? Oh, there they are. Alright, we're going to end the turn. just hold this as a bluff. No need to play it. It's not going to benefit us on the field more than it will in hand. Yep. Yeah, between Lily and Arch, I feel like we're going to get buried. Alright, strategic planning, sure. Wonder if this deck has a God Pharaoh's Gift in it.
Death is ever present.
What is your ultimate? Oh, destroy all non-zombie creatures. Pretty good. Alright, we got Lannery Storm. I guess we'll swing? The bad thing is if we swing with these and they block with Chupacabra, Lily can just bring Chupacabra back next turn. We're kind of fighting a losing battle here. If we don't draw something extraordinary, probably next turn, I'm just going to concede. There's no use wasting our time in these best of one games trying to pull out from a very, very small percentage to win. Also, our opponent's taking very, very long with every single decision, and it gets annoying after a while. Ooh. Oh, why have I got... Is that a... don't know why we had that, but sure. Yeah, attack. Going for their face instead of Liliana, since they're so low. I do expect Chupacabra to block here. Yeah, well, since you double blocked, we'll kill the zombie instead, so that you don't get another use out of Chupacabra. Yes, we want to get another land out. Get a mountain, I suppose. And we'll end the turn. That's game. We'll see what we draw, but we're not beating the Scarab God at this point. Unless we draw Puncturing Blast and they don't have a counterspell.
I prefer friends in low places.
I suppose we'll chump to get our 3/3. They don't have enough mana up to activate the Scarab God, so... Well, that is not exactly what we wanted. We can sort of delay them if they want to block this dino with the Scarab God. Oh, okay, I see. It's so I can attack Liliana. Gotcha. No, I think we're still wanting to go for face. I expect them to just chump here to be safe, because we could also have Magma Spray to exile this. But it's worth trying. They could make a mistake. Well, they are going to block with it. No consideration for Magma Spray at all. Well, at least this will put it into their graveyard and they'll have to recast it. That is, if they don't have a counterspell. But they do, so, yeah. Good game, opponent. Alright, don't get anything for that. But I think that that's going to be it. I do apologize. I know this video is going to be kind of short after I edit everything down because I cut out a lot of dead air. As it is, I've been recording for almost an hour now, and the amount of time the opponent was taking to make decisions on that last game just kind of tired me out. So hopefully you guys understand. And thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, let me know in the comments and by leaving a like below. It really does help tremendously. And of course, subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. I have been Tevaron, and until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.